Hi everyone, this is Abrar. Welcome to Abrar Knowledge channel. Today I'm going to share a success story of Lean Six Sigma. I picked up from the book called Lean Six Sigma, Leaning into Six Sigma by Barbara Wheat. And this is a wonderful book. I strongly recommend you to have a read it. A wonderful success story this book offers it. And from this book I picked up the chapter called 11th chapter. In the 11th chapter name is called Full Circle. Full Circle meaning like Lean to Six Sigma to Lean and all together. That's the reason this chapter name is called chapter number 11, Full Circle. Let's have a go. So the business problem was George was a person who was the consultant. He wanted to sort the problem on the stamping problem. There was a problem. There was a customer complaint was on the stamping process, and it was told that it is not possible to reduce the rejection, and it was very frustrating that the customer was kept on. The customer complaint was on. And the supervisor was his faith was shaken. Why it was face was shaken? Because he was constantly receiving the customer complaint and so on. So George could not allow him any reason to change the supervisor mind, because so he knows that importance of the customer complaint and all that. So and then what they have done, let's have a go. So in the what they have done, so they have just went into the process. In the sub assembly process, every sub assembly at the micro level step they have collected the process, and then components were mixed to form the rubberized compound. So that is the activity inside the sub process. And then they have done the data collection. In the data collection, this is what the very nice about it. While collecting the data, it was observed that the newer machine was having a problem. The newer machine was having the CPK, process capability ratio, and process capability index CPK was just over 0.33. That means it is one standard deviation from the closest specification limit. In other words, so that means the newer machine was operating at 1 sigma. That was the bottleneck. And then 1 sigma would be far from good, right? And then clearly process is incapable of generating the standard process. And in contrast, CPK has to be greater than 2, only then it is considered the Six Sigma process. It is considered that your defect per million opportunity will be less. So let's have a go. So that first thing from the eagle view, they understand that okay, older machine was not causing a big problem, the newer machine was causing a big problem, because the CPK is just 0.33, that is 1 sigma. And then they did a experiment called GRR, gauge repeatability, was carried out. Why they carried out? To see the possibility of whether the problem is a repeatability, whether the newer machine and older machine is having a problem, or whether the problem with the appraiser. They wanted to figure out. And then the result of GRR was clearly evident that the machine 1 and the newer machine was having a problem, not the older one. But appraiser is all okay, because the appraiser is less than 5 variation on reproducibility. From that they confirm that there is nothing wrong with the reproducibility with the appraiser. And then they made a strategic decision. Let's put on hold on newer machine, because the newer machine is continues to give a problem. Let's put on hold. They went on with the newer machine. So the older machine, in the older machine, but only critical condition is 100% inspection they wanted to have a go. So then they went in, and then there was some meaningful discussion happened. What is the meaningful discussion with the judge and the supervisor? Do you really think that this issue is trying to squeeze extra capacity of the machine, or is the problem really is inherent capability? Before he could the follow-up question, he said, would it be easy to take a machine that was ability to produce an adequate amount of material, focus on improving the capability? So when he went to inspect the old machine, but old machine, what they observed is only the noise was coming out of the system. Otherwise it was very kept neat and everything was okay and all that. So then he said that this is the nice wording which I wanted to quickly read it for you. I know I could probably solve the mixer problem within a few days by myself. So this is the statement given by consultant. He said that if I could have done that, solved that, I could have done it in few days, but it would be my solution. In other words, so it will not be very meaningful. So in order to have this solution to be long going, and it has to be, sustainable, I wanted to delegate all of these things with the team. That's what it is. So that anytime when something similar issue being surfaced out, they will be equipped to handle that situation very, very successfully. And then it gives two quotation, very wonderful quotation. It says that consultant cannot solve the problem, right? For the organization, member of the organization must solve the problem for themselves with the consultant help. We can take a guidance from the consultant, but the consultant may not know the in and out about the process. They will not be able to solve it. And then the problem has, and then that is the only way the true change can occur. Another says that the problem is chronic, if the problem is consistent, if the problem is coming from the past. So importance, what we have to do, champion should have no hesitation, should have no problem supporting the black belt, solving the problem. If the problem is not worth the time, that means the problem has been chosen incorrectly. So then had an interaction. Now what happened? So they understand newer machine is is the cause, it is having 1 sigma, and then they understand the cause of that and all that. And after that, so then they had an interaction with the the person who is the operator, and had an interaction with the operator. Do you think that my map, so he has written down all the micro level value stream mapping, like value enabled, value enabled, and value added, non-value added, all these being clearly documented. He said that, can you take a look, actually can you tell me if everything is okay? So then the operator says that there are few things being missed, please go and add it. But the operator was telling that, okay, I think there has been a suggestion from time to time. I know my mixture very well. He looked at the machine, but I'm just an operator, but nobody paid any attention to me. I figure, why bother, because nobody gives full attention to me. And I thanked him for his input and asked if he is interested to be part of the team. So the summary of this, the entire one, I'm also going to make the part 2. In the part 2, they have picked up something called ANOVA, Analysis of Variance, and also they have gone with something called DOE, Design of Experiment. And then they have done the final experiment, and that was very, very successful project. And then the summary, what you can infer from this story is, there was a customer complaint on the stamping process, and then they did a process study, and then they didn't say that they just looked out both the machines separately, newer machine and older machine. Then the newer machine was the main cause because it was 0.33 CPK, and then they did it to double confirm, they did it GRR, just to be ensure that everything we are just anonymously, and we are with the confident, we are just hitting that where the variation are coming from, whether the appraiser or the machine. Then it was anonymous that it was coming from the newer machine. And then they had a interaction. It is said that we should get into the real time process, and they had an interaction with the operator, and operator said that I know my mixture very well, but all of his thought is not being documented and all that. Now George is trying to pull all of his thoughts, everything, input everything, and he just thanked the operator and went on. And then in the part 2, we are going to unfold that analysis of variance, how they did it, and then DOE, Design of Experiment, how they did it, how they freeze that mixing capacity. Now all it was there in the operator mind, right? How they transmitted statistically, how they proved this statistically. So please stay tuned in the next video, which we will be talking more about this one. So thank you so much. Please do like, share, subscribe my channel. Have a nice day ahead.